And welcome into today's video. I have a really exciting video for you to get through today. We are going to be diving into the ARK Invest white paper, The Future of Autos and Truck is Electric. We're going to be talking about how ARK Invest are foreseeing a 40 million unit sales in electrical vehicles over the next 2 years, where we are currently at only about 2 million in capacity. So we are about to have a massive shift into a new space of innovation as we start this S-curve over the next decade, and that is going to help our stocks like NIO, Tesla, XPeng and Li Auto, and some of those traditional automakers are going to have a very difficult time as they start to move away from their combustion engines and transition into more electrical and suitable hybrid vehicles. But they are going to have such a challenge because the technology that is out there right now, the artificial intelligence energy storage technologies that companies like Tesla and NIO have already made are so far advanced that traditional automakers are going to have a really difficult time catching up. Now this is why I hold Tesla, XPeng and Li Auto in my portfolio, and NIO being one of the #1 positions inside my portfolio. I was investing in NIO since it was around $16 all the way around this time last year when we had a lot of press coming out about electrical vehicles, and I really started to understand how we are only just in the start of this innovation phase. And guys, moving over the next few years, we're going to be diving into this paper today to see what ARK Invest are saying about how we are going to capitalize on such a massive market moving forward, because there has never been a time of innovation like this, and all of these innovation platforms are converging with energy storage, with battery technology and automobiles coming into electric, and also that autonomous taxi network that we are seeing right now happen in the emerging market of China. And we are going to have that global expansion, and NIO, one of our top positions that we love talking about on this channel, have their luxury ET7 coming out at the start of next year, and we also have 2 new models. Now we're going to go through some news on NIO as well, because NIO had some information come out yesterday about a $2 billion share offering, and that price came down slightly just at market close. So we are also going to do some technical analysis. Again, if you are new to this channel, then welcome. My name is Jason. Be sure to go down there, smash that like button for me, and also don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button, and welcome to this family of investors. If you would like access to my private buy and sell alerts, then be sure to check out the link to the private Patreon below, where you can ask me anything, and I do update weekly updates with all of my technical analysis and also any of my buy and sells and where I'm moving my portfolio over these next few years. I concentrate heavy on innovation platforms like ARK Invest and how we can actually see a change in the world, moving away from, fossil fuels and coming into companies like Gevo, and how we're going to have all these autonomous taxi networks, and also the convergence of DNA sequencing, because we are going to have some massive surprises in the genomic revolution moving over the next 5 to 10 years. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then be sure to check out the link below, and don't forget to subscribe. So guys, let's start real quickly by diving into the electrical vehicle white paper just for a couple of minutes. It is anticipated that global electrical sales should exceed current forecasts sustainably, and ARK Invest global sales of electrical vehicles is to reach 17 million is their estimate by 2022. Now, given the decline cost curve of lithium battery cells juxtaposed against the rising cost of internal combustion engines, EV sales growth is accelerating rapidly, and growth could be curbed by battery supply chains in the next 2 to 3 years. But capital spending, guys, in this sector is going to accelerate as battery supplies rise to meet the demands of EVs. Now this is a huge paper that Cathie does have out, as you can see up on the screen, and it goes to talk about a lot of the things, how lithium costs for the cells are going to come down, how companies like Tesla have some of the best operating batteries out there in the entire world right now, and it's how it's going to be so difficult for other traditional automakers to in fact make this technology, because their batteries are so advanced. It's going to be really hard for competition to creep into this market. Now this is why, like I said, I have been investing in these companies, and that is why Cathie does hold Tesla as her #1 position, as well as the long foreseeable of energy storage and how they are breaking boundaries against traditions over the next few years. Now I wanted to also talk about the convergence of diesel trucks and how they should give way to electric trucks, because Tesla are working on their truck system. I'm also invested in Hyliion, which is an electrical hybrid company, which are going to start making those hybrids in the US over 2023. So we still have a year and a half to get through until these vehicles start to actually happen. But once they do, guys, the share price of Hyliion right now is roughly anywhere between $10 and $15 on a monthly basis. So it's a nice place now to pick up some of those shares if you are going to be investing in the electrical sector for that domination. Again, if you are someone that is looking to invest in the electrical vehicle market moving over the next decade, because we are seeing that shift into these new technologies. So on the paper, guys, we can also see that the autonomous industry is approaching a profound inflection point, and by 2022, which is not far off our hands, ARC expects the demand for electrical vehicles to begin to outpace that for gasoline powered cars, as the cost of lithium cells falls faster than most analysts have anticipated, and the cost to manufacture traditional internal combustion engine power strains continue to increase. ARC Invest analysts suggest that 200-mile range EVs will become cheaper to the consumer than the majority of ICE vehicles within a 5 to 7 year period. And down here we can see that the projected price compared to a normal combustion engine vehicle is predicted to overtake that of a fossil fueled vehicle. So this is why moving forward it's so important, because it's going to be eco-friendly and we are going to have this huge shift to innovation. Now guys, if we come onto the charts for NIO, we can see that we have been trading in a range of consolidation now for about 6 months, where we had those highs of $55 and we had a sharp decline due to some bad news on NIO with a crash and also a huge sell-off in Chinese stocks, because China is putting a lot of fear right now inside their own market, their own emerging market. But we can see now that NIO is starting to make those lower lows as we start to increase that position up. But what is interesting is that yesterday we actually did have a share offering for NIO. NIO shares fell after a 2 billion stock offering was announced, but the good thing about the stock offering, guys, is that the stock offering is actually happening at the market price. So as you can see on here, NIO shares closed on Tuesday at $40.59. So NIO has commissioned to sell up 2 billion in American depository shares in an at the market offering price. So that means that we aren't going to see a big selling in NIO, because it's not like they're offering those shares at a cheaper price to the institutions, or the way that they are in fact getting that money back. But this is going to help their balance sheet, because it's going to add another 2 billion onto their cash position, which over the long term, guys, is going to be a good thing for NIO, because it's going to only put them in a stronger position. And we know that this is going to happen continually over the next 5 years. It will probably still happen with Tesla, it will happen with XPeng and Li Auto and many other electrical vehicle makers, because they are going to need that money to flood in from the capital markets to raise money, so that they can get that money on their balance sheet and they can expand in their R&D, so that we can then move forward with the electrical vehicle convergence as this new technology takes off, and then they can start to ramp up their global production around the world, because it's extremely expensive to start these companies up. But once we do start to have these companies in the next few years run into a small profit, that's when you are going to see a huge shift and a dominant side to a lot of these electrical vehicle companies like NIO. Now this is why I'm super excited, because right now we are having a massive opportunity to invest in these new companies that have only been out for a few years, and this is just the start of something absolutely beautiful. And NIO is trading around that $40 price range, which to me shows a massive area of consolidation and also a big area of support. And we have a secondary support layer around that $35 price range, which is not far off if we were to fall down, where we can in fact lower down and leverage into our position, because in the long run, guys, this stock is going to absolutely fly off the radar, and it is going to be a triple-digit stock in the next 5 to 10 years. To my belief, I am absolutely certain that this is going to happen. So if you are someone that wants to double your money, then these are the types of stocks that you would like to have as a high risk inside your portfolio, but you have to just wait out the storm. It's not about NIO moving up today, tomorrow, or next week. You have to be patient with these plays, but as we come into this next 5 years, you are going to see these EV makers shift, and we are going to have a double ramp up of capacity every few months, because they are expanding so aggressively. And you can also see that NIO right now is concentrating on expanding globally into Europe, and we can also see that there was an announcement made, because they in fact are doubling their capacity right now in the Chinese market. So this is really, really good news for NIO, because they will continue to improve their supply issues, and they are continuing to manufacture agreements with its state-owned partnership through 2024 with plans to double capacity. So we are going to continually see a ramp up in these productions, which is going to allow us to soar off the radar. So I'm really not worried about what people are doing with NIO in the short term, whether those shares are down. Again, it is about owning a fundamental business and how a business is defined. It's not about what the stock price is doing. You guys have to think about the business. If the business is growing, and NIO is growing over 100% year over year, they are continuing to double and triple their capacity over the 4 quarters. They are only going to continue to do this over the next 5 years. Then again, you are going going to see this business start to soar, get into profitability, and only have more money. And this is why, guys, it's not about worrying about the short term of what these stocks are doing, like our Alpine Ford Technologies and of course the NIO stock price. Guys, I will link the white paper to ARK Invest in case any of you want to have a deep dive through that. Don't forget to go down there if you have learned something new, like and subscribe to this channel. My name is Jason. I put videos out like this all the time. I would love to hear your views today in the comments about NIO, if you are a shareholder, if you are holding NIO, or what you plan to do with the NIO stock price. And guys, remember right now that NIO is a $66 billion company, and it really won't be long until that is $100 billion plus again, and we start to see this innovation shift off. We also have a lot of buy ratings right now on NIO for some top analysts, and we are going to see that upside once again once all of this madness with China starts to calm down, and we do have some more regulation into the autonomous aspects that these companies can bring out, so we can have these taxi fleets throughout the world. So very exciting opportunities, guys, and ARK Invest do a great job of explaining all of that. Hope you guys had a great week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you back on my video soon for some more content on investing. Don't forget to check out the Patreon below, again, if you would like access to any of my buy and sell alerts, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao!